I think that many of us in our lives would think that what has held us back the most is the mistakes that we've made. But I've actually would argue something very differently. I think it's actually our fear of making mistakes that lead to us not taking the action necessary to follow through on our dreams that holds us back the most. Hi everyone, Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion tip of the week. About every 4 months or so, I get a new group of students that are getting ready to test for their black belt. I get them about 3 months prior to their black belt testing, and I have individual trainings with them every Saturday morning to get them ready for their black belt test. And many times these are students that have never trained with me before, so they're a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit intimidated, and they start making mistakes that they would never make in their training. They start messing up in their forms and their self-defense techniques and whatever. And I can literally see that their tightness, the fact that they're all wound up about training with me is oftentimes leading to the fact that they're not really doing well at all. And so it always leads me to share with them a story from my own past that's really helped me with this, and one that I share with all my students. It's the fall of 1981, and I am a new freshman linebacker in football camp for Northwestern University. I've now moved from playing high school football into the big leagues of Big Ten football, and to say it was overwhelming is an understatement for me. We're in the middle of 2-day practices, and not only is my body beginning to ache and hurt, but also all the new information is just making my head spin. And so I'm not only physically exhausted, but I'm mentally exhausted as well. Now, when you play the position of inside linebacker like I did, you're responsible with setting the defensive fronts for your teammates. So the defensive linemen that are down and the outside linebackers, they all will go in position based on what the inside linebacker says. So when the offense comes out in a certain position, the inside linebacker makes his reads, he calls it out to his teammates, and that's the way that they go into their position. Well, having this new responsibility was really overwhelming me, and I wasn't only messing up my calls at the front line, but I was also so wrapped up in my head that I wasn't playing football. I was not reacting the way that I should have. I was stiff, I was slow to react. And on this one particular play, the offense came out, I got everyone in the wrong position, and then when the ball was snapped, I was late getting to the ball and I missed the tackle. And then my position coach, Mike Church, bellowed some words that have stuck with me now probably over 30 years since. And he said, "Natzke, if you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed. If you're going to make a mistake, make it full speed." And later on when I talked to him, he explained, he said, "Man, I want you playing loose. And if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. Because if you're feeling loose and you're feeling relaxed, you can always recover from that mistake. But if you're all wound up, you're never going to be able to recover. You're never going to be able to be as effective as you can be." And so this is what I share with my black belt candidate students, is if you're going to make that mistake, make it full speed. Don't allow it to slow yourself down. Don't be afraid of making the mistake, because the biggest mistake is the action you don't take. Think about this. Think about if, when we were all learning to walk as children, if the first time we fell down, we said, heck with that. I'm not going to try that again because I just messed it up. It's a ridiculous statement, but think about it. It kind of makes sense. So this week, here's what I'm going to challenge all of us to do. When we're looking at our lives, when we're looking at our careers, when we're looking at our relationships, where are there opportunities for us to take action despite the fact that we're fearful of making a mistake? And see where it leads us. And I can almost guarantee you that even if you mess up along the way, if you're approaching life, if you're approaching your work, if you're approaching your relationships in a way of, hey, if I mess up, it's okay. If I make a mistake, it's going to be full speed. You're going to find you're going to get much further than you ever thought possible. So there you have, my friends. There's your challenge. If you're going to make a mistake this week, make it full speed. This has been Chris Natzke with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.